I used to hold this opinion that they were dumb and that they were bad because, well, if you just want to make a change, then you should just make a change today, or you should make a change the second you want to. And that's true. Like, I actually do believe that you shouldn't, if it's May 15th, you shouldn't wait until January 1st of the next year to make that change. But around this time every year, I think it's a good thing. I mean, I think we are much more than just, I think we're more than physical beings, we're spiritual beings as well. And the year changing is a very real thing that happens. Everybody experiences it. We start writing 2025 as opposed to 2024, or we used to write 2023. Now we wrote 2024 for this past year. And so we're changing. Like, things are actually changing. So it's a good time to make a change because things are changing in general. It's a big overhaul change. The year is flipping. Does that mean you should wait if you want to make a change in October till January 1st? No, obviously not. But this is the time to make a change because this is the time of year to make a change. And so I think that it's this podcast is timely for this answer, obviously, because I would have a different opinion probably in June. But I really believe that it's a fantastic time to make a change. It's a great time to take a step back and see the things that you did this past year, because we all sort of do this every year. We want to make changes. We all go to the gym for the first week or whatever, and then we all fall off, which is why people think that New Year's resolutions are bad. But they're not bad. They're just implemented poorly, and that's really where people are getting stuck and held up. And I hopefully through this podcast, you will come away with it with ideas on things that I've done successfully, and hopefully you can implement into your life that can then start to get the ball rolling and start to improve your life in a positive way and have a New Year's resolution actually stick. Just buy my course. I'll give you a code for that at the end. So you don't need a reason to change, but this is a good time to change. So should you do one? Yes, I think you should. I think that you should track your yearly progress. You should track your yearly goals. People change a lot. You change a lot over a year, 2 years, 5 years. We're going to go back on the things that have happened in my life that have changed a lot just in this past year. And I think that acting as though you don't change throughout the entire year, or that the calendar flipping doesn't mean anything, I think is silly. And I think that now is a great time to write down the things that in this next year you want to accomplish. You should have a couple different types of goals. You should have the tinier, smaller, easier to obtain goals that you're doing on a daily basis. So a good one would be drink more water. So just every day, try to track your water consumption. I believe the rule is however much you weigh, divide that by 2, and that's the amount of fluid ounces you should drink. So I weigh 185 pounds. I should drink 92.5 ounces of water, 92.5 ounces of water every single day. 92 pounds would be quite a lot. So that's sort of like the rough idea on how you want to do it. The next goals are sort of like the monthly goals. And these are a little bit bigger, but they're not that big because a month is long, but it's not crazy long. So I've done a lot of 30-day challenges, and I plan on doing more. And these are fun because they can really change your life in a positive way. So last year, one of the 30-day challenges I gave myself was to stop drinking Diet Coke. And I did, and I haven't had Diet Coke since that video, whenever that was, February. I think that was like the beginning of February is when I started filming that. So I haven't had pop. I haven't had any Diet Coke in almost an entire year. So these smaller goals can turn into bigger goals. And that's really what these monthly goals should be. You should be looking at sort of monthly goals in that sense is you want to just 30 days. You can do anything for 30 days. So when you do those things for 30 days, hopefully after that 30-day period, you're not totally cooked and totally exhausted by it. And you say, I can keep doing this. These goals, I think that I've always bitten off more than I can chew, and I'm going to do that again this year because I think it's fun to challenge yourself. But if you really want lasting change, do something simple like I'm not going to drink Diet Coke. That's it. Or I'm going to stop eating fast food. Something that's like a material change, but it's not impossible. Not eating fast food is hard, but it's not impossible. You can go to a grocery store. You can get pre-made meals at a grocery store. You get something like Factor. I really like Factor. They should need to sponsor me because I love that, and I it's a little expensive, but I really like it. So those are the types of things you should probably be looking at for these 30-day challenges. Don't do something insane like, I want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Don't do that. Do something a little bit more manageable, something that you could bite off. And then obviously you want to have your yearly goals that hopefully the daily, weekly, monthly, those things sort of add up to be by the end of the year. These are the things that you've accomplished. This is how I accomplished them, or these are things I fell short on. And you should be able to look back on the next year, see what you did at this point next year in 2025. You should be able to see, okay, I did 4 of my 6 goals. That's really good. I accomplished a lot of things. And that's how you're going to make progress is you make progress day to day, but then you need to look back over the year and see how much progress you've actually made. I'm even still bad about doing that. I think I get frustrated when stuff doesn't happen right away. For example, this podcast, we currently have 42 subscribers, which is cool. I just gained another one recently. And so when you're a small channel, you notice those little things a lot. And my bigger channel that has almost 20,000 subscribers, I get like 15 or 20 a day, or even more than that sometimes. And it's kind of just like, yeah, it's cool. But it's not as cool as when I get, like, I double my subscribers on this channel every single couple days on Techno Eclipse. But anyway, so that's how you should be looking at these New Year's resolutions: short term, medium term, and long term. And that's how you're going to break out your list. Next, they have to become part of your life. You can't spend like this entire night. You're going to listen to this podcast, get all excited, write down everything you want to accomplish. And then on January 3rd, you forget all of them because it was too much. And that's okay to plan too much. I think it's actually okay. I think the only thing you need to do is make sure that you are checking in every single day. This is something I think I've done a really bad job at, and I think a lot of other people had the same problem of taking 5 minutes to figure out what you're doing. So, for example, we're just going to do something simple like a YouTube video for me. If I want to make a YouTube video, I need to script a YouTube video, I need to film a YouTube video, I need to film B-roll for the YouTube video, I need to then edit the video, and then I need to make the thumbnail. And that's the 5 things I need to do. And when I'm looking at those 5 things, I think a lot of times you look at that and you go, oh my gosh, that's so much stuff that I have to do. But if you just sat down for 5 minutes and broke down what you're going to do. Okay, today I'm going to script and film that part. And then tomorrow I'm going to film the B-roll. And then the next day I'm going to edit because I know the order of everything already because I've already scripted it out. If you went through it like that, it would be a lot easier and a lot simpler for you versus just looking at, I have to make a YouTube video and then sitting down and making one. You can make progress like that. I've done that I've done that too many times in my life, but really you should be sitting down and just taking 5 minutes before you do something to figure out what you need to do. What's the priority? What's the thing that's going to give me the biggest value, basically, is what we're looking at. So
this is Editor Scott here. I also wanted to add that it's all about just building momentum. So just doing something small to get the ball rolling. If you want to make a YouTube video, sometimes sitting down and just coming up with an idea for 5 minutes is enough to get the ball rolling. And if you only do 5 minutes, at least you worked on it. So just do something small to get the ball rolling and start to build that momentum.
I've been thinking about that a lot on the Techno Eclipse channel. It's a tech-based channel that has where iPhone and phone videos typically do really well. And I've pushed against that a little bit because I wanted to just see what works well. But at the end of the day, if I take 5 minutes to figure out, okay, these are the phones that people like, I need to make videos about these phones. That's really where I'm looking at for 2025 is I'm trying to take that extra 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to figure out where the biggest value add is going to be for me, the largest overall. For every minute I spend, I'm going to extract the most value out of that minute. And that's the only way to do that is to spend 5 minutes up front deciding that. And I think I do a bad job of that, planning things out. And also, I think a lot of other people do a bad job of that as well. And I think the last thing you need to do is you have to change the way you think. Every single day, we make probably 1,000 plus decisions, thousands of decisions. And so many of them you don't think about making. Decisions for me are like what I wear, I know when I film I'm wearing a hat. I have 6 of these hats. They're just throughout the house, and I know that whenever I'm going to film, I'm going to put it on. I don't like the way my bald head looks with the big light. I think it looks a little goofy, which is why I like to wear the hat. I think it's just it's part of my brand, basically, at this point, and I like the hats. So I bought like 6 of them on Amazon. I thought that was smart. It's like, I'm just going to have 10 of these because I used to have one, and I couldn't find it because I would wear it out or whatever, and I couldn't find it. So I just bought 6 of them. And so you need to do things like that where you aren't making decisions, and the decisions that you are making, you have to have those decisions change. So for so many people, decisions they make are like eating food. What do you eat for food? And they don't think about it. They just go to McDonald's and get the food, or they just go to Subway and get the food, or they just go to Wendy's and get the food. They don't think about what they're going to eat. They just sort of get something. They don't think about it. And you need to start making those decisions that you don't think about, make those decisions better. So at night when you have a free hour, as opposed to just laying on the couch and watching TV, that's a decision you're making without even thinking about it. It's like you finish dinner, you had a long day at work, and you just lay down and then you play on your phone, you watch TV, and then you go to bed. And that's your night. But you made a decision to lay on the couch and pull out your phone and watch TV. Those are decisions you're making, but you're not thinking about making them. You just sort of make them. Those are the decisions that you need to, in the future, in 2025, you need to change the way you make those decisions in terms of what you're not thinking about and thinking about. So the decisions you're not thinking about, change the way those are being thought of. So if you Don't think about them. Just instead of not thinking about eating McDonald's, start to not think about eating a salad. And once you can flip that, you can make a ton of change. I think that's where a lot of the change is made, is when you change like the baseline underlying way that you think about the world and the way you think about going throughout your day. If the idea of laying on the couch is enticing to you and you just sort of do it without thinking, what you need to do is make that not enticing. Do something else instead. And eventually you'll get to a point where laying on the couch makes you feel guilty like me. And you never relax, you never enjoy anything. And that's probably too far to the extreme, but at least I feel like I get a lot of stuff done. So whatever, you do what makes you happy, but those things, laying on the couch, those don't make you happy. So you gotta find things that make you happy. And so you need to fix those decisions that you're not making. Those are the big things. Those are going to be the things that impact your life the most. And that's what you should be thinking about changing in 2025. So if everyone wants to lose weight, everyone wants to work out more, everyone wants to make more money, those types of things. And the only way to do that is to change the way you don't think about things. That'd be a good title for a book. Change the Way You Don't Think About Things by Scott Schroeder. And really that's what we're trying to do in 2025 and beyond, is to change the way we don't think about things. So those underlying casual decisions, flip those on their head, and now you got to start thinking more throughout the day. The only way to do that is to be aware of the decision that you're making. So start to think about the decisions you're making, the food you're eating, and it really just revolves around the stuff that you want to change. So if you want to lose weight, think about the food you're eating. If you want to work out more, think about the way you're spending time not working out. If you want to make more money or start a new project or whatever, think about the way that you're spending your time when you're relaxing or whatever after work. That's what you're going to be looking at in 2025.